And then and there, the Achaeans might have taken Troy, her towering gates toppling under Patroclus' power, heading the vanguard, storming on with a spear. But Apollo took his stand on the massive rampart, his mind blazing with death for him, but help for Troy. 3 times Patroclus charged the jut on the high wall. 3 times Apollo battered the man and hurled him back, the god's immortal hand beating down on the gleaming shield. Then at Patroclus' 4th assault, like something superhuman, the god shrieked down his winging words of terror.
"Back, Patroclus, lordly man, go back. It is not the will of fate that the proud Trojan citadel fall before your spear, not even before Achilles, far greater man than you." And Patroclus gave ground, backing a good way off, clear of the deadly archer's wrath. And back Apollo strode, a god in the wars of men, while glorious Hector ordered skilled Cabriones flog the team to battle. Apollo pressed on, wading into the ruck, hurling Argives back in chaos and handing glory to Hector and all the Trojan forces. But Hector ignored the Argive masses, killing none. He lashed his pounding stallion straight at Patroclus. Patroclus, over against him, leapt down from his car and hit the ground, his left hand shaking a spear, and seized with his right a jagged, glittering stone his hand could just cover. Patroclus flung it hard, leaning into the heave, not backing away from Hector, no, and no wasted shot. But he hit his driver, a bastard son of famed King Priam, Cabriones, yanking the reins back taut right between the eyes. The sharp stone crushed both brows, the skull caved in, and both eyes burst from their socket, dropping down in the dust before his feet as the reinsman vaulted, plunging off his well-wrought car like a diver. Cabriones' life breath left his bones behind, and you taunted his corpse, Patroclus, O my rider. "Look, what a springy man, a nimble, flashy tumbler. Just think what he'd do at sea, with a fish swarm. Why, this man could glut a fleet, diving for oysters, plunging overboard even in choppy, heaving seas, just as he dives to the ground from his war car now. Even these Trojans have their tumblers. What a leap!" And he leapt himself at the fighting driver's corpse, with the rushing lunge of a lion, struck in the chest as he lay waste pens of cattle, his own lordly courage about to be his death. So you sprang at Cabriones, full fury, Patroclus, O my rider, as Hector sprang down from his chariot just across, and the two went tussling over the corpse as lions up in the mountain ridges over a fresh-killed stag, both ravenous, proud and savage, fighting it out to the death. So over the diver here, and both claw-mad for battle. Patroclus, son of Menoetius, Hector, ablaze for glory, strained to slash each other with ruthless bronze. Hector seized the corpse's head, would not let go. Patroclus clung to a foot, and other fighters clashed. Trojans, Argives, all in grueling, maiming onset.
So till the sun bestrode the sky at high noon, the weapons hurtled side to side, and men kept falling. But once the sun wheeled past the hour for unyoking oxen, then the Argives mounted a fiercer new attack, fighting beyond their fates. They dragged the hero Cabriones out from under the pelting shafts and Trojan-piercing war cries, and they tore the handsome war gear off his back, and Patroclus charged the enemy, fired for the kill. 3 times he charged with the headlong speed of Ares, screaming his savage cry. 3 times he killed 9 men. Then at the 4th assault, Patroclus, like something superhuman, then Patroclus, the end of life came blazing up before you. Yes, the Lord Apollo met you there in the heart of battle. The god, the terror. Patroclus never saw him coming, moving across the deadly route, shrouded in thick mist, and on he came against him, and looming up behind him now, slammed his broad shoulders and back with the god's flat hand, and his eyes spun as Apollo knocked the helmet off his head, and under his horse's hooves it tumbled, clattering on with its 4 forged horns and its hollow blank eyes, and its plumes were all smeared in the bloody dust. Forbidden before to defile its crest in dust, It guarded the head and handsome brow of a god, a man like a god, Achilles. But now the father gave it over to Hector to guard his head in war, since Hector's death was closing on him quickly. Patroclus, though, the spear in his grip was shattered, the whole of its rugged bronze-shod shadow-casting length, and his shield with straps and tassels dropped from his shoulders. Flung down on the ground, and Lord Apollo, the son of Zeus, wrenched his breastplate off. Disaster seized him, his fine legs buckling. He stood there, senseless. And now, right at his back, close up, a Dardan fighter speared him squarely between the shoulder blades with a sharp lance. Panther was his son, Euphorbus, the best of his own age at spear and horseman skill and speed of foot. And even in this, his first attack in chariots, just learning the arts of war, he brought down 20 drivers off their cars. He was the first to launch a spear against you, Patroclus, O my rider, but did not bring you down. Yanking out his ashen shaft from your body, back he dashed and lost himself in the crowds. The man would not stand up to Patroclus here in mortal combat, stripped, defenseless as he was. Patroclus, stunned by the spear and the god's crushing blow, was weaving back to his own thronging comrades, trying to escape death. Hector, waiting, watching, the great-hearted Patroclus trying to stagger free, seeing him wounded there with the sharp bronze, came rushing into him right across the lines and rammed his spear shaft home, stabbing deep in the bowels, and the brazen point went jutting straight out through Patroclus's back. Down he crashed. Horror gripped Achaea's armies, as when some lion overpowers a tireless wild boar up on a mountain summit, battling in all their fury over a little spring of water, both beasts craving to slake their thirst. But the lion beats him down with sheer brute force as the boar fights for breath. So now, with a close thrust, Hector, the son of Priam, tore the life from the fighting son of Menetius, from Patroclus, who had killed so many men in war, and gloried over him, wild, winging words. "Patroclus, surely you thought you'd storm my city down. You'd wrest from the wives of Troy their day of freedom, drag them off in ships to your own dear fatherland. You fool! Rearing in their defenses my war team, Hector's horses were charging out to battle, galloping full stretch, and I with my spear, Hector, shining among my combat-loving comrades, I fight away from them the fatal day. But you, the vultures will eat your body raw. Poor doomed. Not for all his power could Achilles save you now. And how he must have filled your ears with orders, as you went marching out and the hero stayed behind. Now don't come back to the hollow ships, you hear, Patroclus, master horseman, not till you've slashed a shirt around his chest and soaked it red in the blood of man-killing Hector. So he must have commanded. You maniac, you obeyed. Struggling for breath, you answered, Patroclus, O my rider. Hector, now is your time to glory to the skies. Now the victory is yours, a gift of the son of Kronos, Zeus, Apollo too. They brought me down with all their deathless ease. They're the ones who tore the armor off my back. Even if 20 Hectors had charged against me, they'd have all died here, laid low by my spear. No, deadly fate in league with Apollo killed me. From the ranks of men, Euphorbus, you came third, and all you could do was finish off my life. One more thing. Take it to heart, I urge you. You too. You won't live long yourself, I swear. Already I see them looming up beside you, death and the strong force of fate, to bring you down at the hands of Aeacus' great royal son, Achilles. Death cut him short. The end closed in around him, flying free of his limbs. His soul went winging down to the house of death, wailing his fate, leaving his manhood far behind, his young and supple strength. But glorious Hector taunted Patroclus' body, dead as he was. "Why, Patroclus? Why prophesy my doom, my sudden death? Who knows, Achilles, the son of sleek-haired Thetis, may outrace me, struck by my spear first, and gasp his life away." With that, he planted a heel against Patroclus' chest, wrenched his brazen spear from the wound, kicked it over, flat on his back, free and clear of the weapon. At once, he went for Automedon with the spear, quick as a god, the aid of swift Achilles, keen to cut him down, but his veering horses swept him well away. Magnificent racing stallions, gifts of the gods to Peleus, shining, immortal gifts.